Michael Jordan didn't just dunk. He levitated, annihilated, and redefined what it meant to fly in basketball. His most iconic dunk came during the 1987 slam dunk contest, where he soared from the free throw line and froze time. That single moment didn't just win the contest, it launched the Air Jordan legacy and inspired generations of high flyers. But Jordan wasn't just showtime, he was destruction. In 1985, during a Nike exhibition game in Italy, he threw down a dunk so violent it shattered the glass backboard into thousands of shards. That dunk wasn't in the NBA record books, but it became global proof that Jordan had otherworldly power. Then came the in-game posters, dunks over centers, fast break slams, and baseline detonations that broke the will of defenders. These weren't contests, these were statements. Jordan was here, and you couldn't stop him. These moments weren't just highlights. They were proof that Michael Jordan wasn't just the best. He was basketball's god in flight. Michael Jordan's status as the greatest dunker in basketball history can be traced back to one legendary moment: the 1988 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. In front of a roaring crowd in Chicago, MJ launched himself from the free throw line and seemed to hang in the air for an eternity. The image of Jordan soaring with the ball cocked in one hand became an instant classic, and was later immortalized as the silhouette of the Jumpman logo. But that dunk wasn't just a feat of athleticism, it was a cultural earthquake. Jordan didn't just win the dunk contest that year, he won it back-to-back, edging out Dominique Wilkins in one of the greatest showdowns in All-Star Weekend history. What made it more powerful was the grace and control he displayed mid-air. Unlike other power dunkers of the era, Jordan made it look effortless. His ability to combine artistry and aggression in a single leap was unlike anything the league had seen before. The free throw line dunk also became a global moment, played over and over on TV screens across the world. It defined a generation of basketball fans and convinced the world that Michael Jordan wasn't just a superstar, he was something supernatural. When people talk about iconic Michael Jordan moments, they often point to Game 2 of the 1991 NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. Midway through the game, Jordan drove into the lane, soared past defenders, and, mid-air, switched the ball from his right hand to his left before laying it in off the glass. While officially logged as a layup, the entire move carried the mechanics, elevation, and impact of a dunk. In fact, many analysts argue it was meant to be a dunk, until Jordan adjusted mid-flight, showcasing his unmatched body control. But why is this often mentioned among his greatest dunks? Because it wasn't just the finish. It was the airtime, the motion, and the improvisation that made it divine. Jordan jumped like he was going for a poster dunk, only to twist, glide, and flip the ball with his offhand in one impossible movement. It was creativity, athleticism, and instinct, all compressed into one breathtaking moment on the biggest stage. The context made it even more meaningful. This was Jordan's first ever finals appearance. He was up against Magic Johnson, a player many still considered the face of the league. And in that single play, Jordan announced to the basketball world, "There's a new king now." The move became one of the most replayed sequences in NBA history. For kids growing up in the 90s, it was a move they all tried and failed to replicate on playgrounds and school courts. Coaches couldn't teach it, trainers couldn't design it, even defenders couldn't believe it. It was one of those plays where all 5 Lakers on the court just turned around, too late, watching the ball drop through the net. And Jordan? He simply jogged back on defense. No chest pounding, no trash talk, just the quiet confidence of someone who already knew that play was going to live forever. There are iconic dunks, and then there's the dunk that became a logo. In 1988, during the NBA Slam Dunk Contest in Chicago, Michael Jordan stepped onto the court with pressure from all sides, defending champion, hometown favorite, and facing a rising superstar in Dominique Wilkins. But what came next transcended competition. Jordan lined up at the free throw line, dribbled once, and took off. What followed wasn't just a dunk. It was a moment of levitation. As he soared through the air, legs spread, ball cocked high, tongue out, time felt like it paused. He wasn't just dunking, he was flying. And when he finally slammed the ball through the rim, the crowd erupted, the judges gave him a perfect 50, and the NBA had its forever highlight. But here's what made that dunk eternal: the silhouette. Photographers captured it from multiple angles, especially the side profile where his body looked sculpted in mid-air. That very image would later inspire Nike's Jumpman logo. turning one airborne moment into a billion-dollar brand and a cultural icon. This dunk wasn't even Jordan's first from the free throw line. Dr. J had done it before, and MJ had done it earlier in 1985. But in '88, with the stakes higher, the lights brighter, and the form cleaner, it became the definitive version. He didn't just jump far, he jumped gracefully. It wasn't power, it was poetry. Even now, decades later, no dunk contest can go by without at least one player trying to recreate it, and no one has ever made it look as easy, or as legendary, as Jordan did that night. It's not just one of the best dunks in NBA history, it might be the most important. When we talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan's scoring, defense, and clutch performances always top the list. But what truly set him apart, what elevated him beyond statistics, were moments of awe that made fans, players, and legends alike drop their jaws. And nothing captures that like his most iconic dunks. Each of these 3 slams represents more than just athleticism. The baseline reverse against the Knicks wasn't about power. It was about style, improvisation, and precision in the heat of battle. Jordan floated, twisted, and landed like a ballet dancer with fury. It told the world, this man doesn't just play the game, he owns its physics. Then came the shrug dunk on Patrick Ewing, a perfect fusion of dominance and disrespect. Jordan toyed with one of the league's most feared defenders, humiliated him, and punctuated it with a jam that echoed through Madison Square Garden. That dunk wasn't just a highlight, it was psychological warfare. He didn't just rise above Ewing, he erased him. And finally, the free throw line dunk in 1988, a cultural shift. That leap wasn't just for a contest, it redefined what was possible. In one takeoff, Jordan became both athlete and symbol. That dunk birthed a global brand, immortalized in the Jumpman logo, and inspired generations to believe that flight was possible, even without wings. More than 30 years later, these dunks remain viral, replayed endlessly on YouTube, social media, and documentaries. Kids try to imitate them on backyard hoops. NBA stars still cite them as the reason they picked up a ball. That's not just greatness, that's divinity on hardwood. In the end, Michael Jordan's greatest dunks didn't just shake backboards, they changed the game. They were moments when time slowed, the crowd gasped, and basketball evolved into art. It's why Jordan will always be more than a champion. He's a myth, a movement, and for many, a basketball god.